Hey everyone, TWR4472 back with an unexpected layout video. I'm recording the audio after the fact, so it might sound and look weird at times if I'm talking about something that isn't necessarily in frame, but nonetheless, audio clarity, it sounds, I think, a bit better doing a voiceover, and I had to slow the video down actually to get everything to fit. So this layout kind of came about in a way by accident. Just was lucky enough, I had a table that just wasn't in use. I thought it was going to be in use, and then I was able to build. I really wanted to incorporate as much as I can, especially like the new items, as much as I can. Really the new things that aren't in the video is the redstone bridge from the Instant System set number 3, as well as the useful engine shed. But pretty much everything else is there. Well, I guess with the exception of the Out of Puff Percy and Thomas. But everything else is basically here. All things considered, I think it's a pretty decent layout. Kind of working with what I have, and I'm actually missing tracks still. But I think it's pretty diverse in what it accomplishes. So, like, just for example, so in this section of the island, half of the island, if you will, it's what I call, I guess, kind of like the industry side. So we've got, Bill Ben, D199, there's Thumper in the background, Bullstroke, sort of a tugboat. It's kind of more like the construction side, heavy duty type side. Got a little fire department, and where Bullstroke is, that's obviously a waterway, and over where the fire department and Terrence and the street sweeper and garbage trucks are, that's like ground, and obviously in the middle where Thumper and George are, that's obviously ground as well. So I'm using the gold mine tunnel and the mountain tunnel, Gordon's Hill, as I call it. I kind of put them together in the middle. Nothing's actually connecting them in the middle. They're just next to each other, and it works because they're such big, sturdy objects that it just worked out really well. So coming along, on this side, you could kind of see the the S shape that goes through the middle of the mountain tunnels, and kind of the H that is created on the lower level in the middle with the 2 T switches. A lot going on, obviously a lot of branching lines, as you can see. A lot of, one line can get you to one place, everything, it's kind of almost like it's webbing, almost like a cracked windshield, if you will. Once it starts, it just keeps on expanding and expanding. And that was kind of the idea, to make it as compact and interesting as possible. So on this side, this is like, I've got the station with Thomas and Bertie, got James above because I want another little raised section with Old Slow Coach. And behind Old Slow Coach and James is a red roofed house with Caroline, a couple trees, and a cow. And then those 2 lines kind of converge. Just doing a little zoom in here. Again, this is after the fact, so watching it in real time. So those 2 lines where James and Thomas are, they converge to where the Soto Railway Repair and Edward are, and then there's a multi-switch, I guess a double, I'm not really fully sure on the official name, but everyone, I think, recognizes the track. One goes to where you will see Sir Handel and Duncan, and then Peter, Sam, and Ada, Jane, and Mabel, and the other goes to where Henry is up above, and Henry has goods train, as you might have caught a glimpse. We'll see again. It's recording this as I'm watching it is admittedly a little strange. And there's also Bulgy and a Sodor power truck. Missing the other Sodor power truck because I bought this one at a flea market, and it was the only one. And you see Renee's and Scarlowe and Fred Pele, and then you've got Percy and the honey car in the background, Boko and fuel tank in the background, Smudger in a siding with Boulder looking over him menacingly. So there's Henry with goods train. This is kind of like, this layout is basically in display mode, more or less. That's why I've just got kind of like everything, everywhere, displayed as trying to be not as haphazard as one might think, trying to keep it orderly, but making sure it all works together. So Again, I like it. I just did the zoom in here, I think, just to demonstrate that that is the tree that came with the Goldmine tunnel set. I find myself very lucky that I have what I believe is the first version of it, the pre-CGI version of the Goldmine tunnel set. Likewise with, speaking of Boulder, that's from the Boulder expansion pack, but I also have the Boulder Mountain set, so I'm very fortunate to own both. Same with that Sodor Museum crane, I believe that was also like a Toys R Us exclusive. I know I bought, I guess at some point that goes back a long time ago. Same with the Goldmine tunnel set, which I also got at Toys R Us. That goes back a good while. And where Oliver is, that Oliver came with the Boulder Mountain set. And that 2007 Toad I actually got at the Toys R Us in New York City many years ago. So you see in the middle there, I've got Toby and Henrietta, and then it kind of S curves where Henry is, and you come out the other side. So you can get from one part of the island to the other very quickly. Kind of the intention, again, trying to use as much of the space as possible. Then up top we've got Coldy with half of the recycling cars and Mavis with half the rock crusher cars. And you can see Duke coming out of there, and then you got Sir Handel and Duncan. And just in front of Sir Handel we have the Knapford covered tunnel, the Yellow Water Tower, and then Peter Sam with Ada, Jane, and Mabel, which unintentionally was a callback to episode 3 in my series that has been on hiatus for a long time. Speaking of which, I do have an episode 4, if you will, planned. I actually have a script written, just wrote it the other day, so that will be a work in progress, that video. I mean, it's a very simple kind of like reintroduction, getting me back into the channel type mindset. Very simple video, not a whole lot of characters, pretty straightforward. It involves like gold and like, I guess, the gold mine set in a way. So that's kind of like a sneak peek, if you will, but very simple to get back to. Yep, and then here the camera focuses. There we go. The 96 Stepney and then the 94 Flat Magnet Rusty. Very happy, obviously to own both, especially the Rusty. Technically, I do have the new style Stepney, but I really wanted that old style Stepney. And this is a plastic firehouse that I've had for a very long time. I do have the Woodham Railway Firehouse, the first version, but for space purposes, I use this one with one of those fire trucks from that set, the water tanker, and an Ertl fire truck, which I guess would be the fire truck from season 5, the old Slow Coach episode. So just a little, again, kind of more like industrial in a sense. So keeping it all there, and basically that stop and go station, on the other side of that, that's where like Bolster and the Sorbet Tugboat are. That's the water. This is land, if you will, and then in the middle there's George and Thumper again on land. Then we got Terrence and the garbage and street sweeper cars, and I have another red roofed house. I've got like 3 of those, which I believe was also again from a flea market, going back quite a while. The Gold Prospectors cars, very happy to own those as well, since I had the Gold Mine Tunnel. Those I think I got from a friend, actually. And then here we have a better shot of Toby with Henrietta, and then we got Gordon with the Express Coaches, speaking with the Flying Scotsman, the 2013 Flying Scotsman, which was a very, very unexpected Christmas gift, for sure. Cranky, which came with the Gold Mine Tunnel set. We've got Butch the Tow Truck, and Trevor in that same area as the camera begins to move. Yes, there we go. And a little tree there, and then we have Percy with the honey car. There's Boko down with the fuel tanker. You can see Smudger kind of in his siding. Where Percy and Boko, like that line, there's a couple of instances where it's like very, very windy. It's, I think, that there, and then where Oliver is. The trains definitely do not like going over that. It's because you have to go very slowly. They get derailed easily. I guess I'll just put it at that. But this is kind of the, I guess, complicated, convoluted area coming into the station. Percy's line obviously doesn't come into the station. Duck's line directly comes to the station, then also splits to where Renaissance Skarloey and Fred Pelehay are, which then goes to the Smudger siding. And then if you were to stay, I guess, straight before kind of almost completing that, staying on that outer oval circuit, there's Mike with the fuel tanker, which goes up to where James is, and then down to where Soda Railway Repair, and all that. Yes, and where Edward is. Smudger I just thought to include. I mean, just, why not? Again, this is like for display purposes, this set. And of course, I feel fortunate to own Smudger as well. A little zoom in on Boulder himself. So it's a fun set. Again, still kind of in display mode. I kind of have a rough idea of how the video episode 4 will look. But I think I like a lot of the angles that this layout has to offer. And I think the 2 mountain tunnel sets in the middle, this is something that I would definitely do again, maybe spaced out a bit more if I get more room in a future layout. I would definitely do it again though. I do really like the way it looks. Just, I don't know, the organization and the structure and just the parallelism, if you will, of like the 2 hills, as you can see here with Mavis and Coldy. I just really, really like it. And the 2 cranes, the museum crane, you see here, kind of like another interesting angle, if you will. But that museum crane and then Cranky, very multifunctional, because both of those cranes can service the middle level of the mountain tunnel. So, again, it's as trying to be as functional as possible. But yeah, it's a fun layout. I'll see how many episodes. I think definitely, obviously, episode 4, and very well in episode 5, which I'm already starting to think about. I think it'll be a narrow gauge episode. I think I want to, focus on Rusty, but that I don't even have a script for yet. So that's coming down the line, if you will. And at the station, you might have caught a glimpse. So there's your top mat, obviously, and then there's the thin controller of the narrow gauge, again, kind of showing the dichotomy of the set in terms of how it can work for both the narrow gauge and standard gauge. And again, that's kind of the menagerie of display pieces here, the trains. I'm showing, both obviously standard and narrow gauge, even though it's obviously all the same track here. But kind of trying to show that multifunctionality. And then there's Harold over there, yes, just to point him out. And then here, I don't know, might not have gotten the best glimpse, but of where Caroline is behind Old Slow Coach with another red-roofed house. We got Edward Soda Railway Repair over there. Another panning shot, which I think even from like almost like an aerial view, if you will, I think the layout looks very, very nice. In my post that I made, community post, you can see I basically got a complete, I guess, bird's eye directly above the middle of the table type view to really showcase it. I think it looks good. I think there's a lot of symmetry, which in a way was unintentional, but then I think became a matter of necessity. So yeah, I haven't built a layout in a long time, so for my first one back, I'm proud of it. And if you can see there in the background, there's the Lighthouse Bridge, which came with Bulstrode. Again, that's something that I've had for a very long time. I tried to incorporate it on this set because I think it's a really cool and unique piece, but again, the space just isn't really there. Of course, when I get more space for future layouts, I'm pretty much going to use everything that I have. And you'll see a few more destination type pieces for sure. The roundhouse probably being the biggest piece. And then I have the signal station, the talking railway, if all y'all remember that from way back when, that talking railway station, which I will of course incorporate. I actually have a good few of those, still new in the box, those talking railway engines. I think I had Toby, Rosie, a couple others. funny. I still think of it as like a new thing, but I guess in a way I guess now it's technically kind of old. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it. I think there's a lot of potential here. We'll see how much it does. When I get more space, I mean, believe me, I will do what I can. But, it feels good in a way to kind of get back into the swing of things after, like 7 years. I think the video might be coming to a close here. So, until episode 4, until next time, please like, comment, subscribe, comment. I think I said comment twice, but you know what I mean. Feedback is always appreciated. So, until next time.